What's going on, everybody? It's Sahal once again, and welcome to an episode of the Amateur Paleo Cook. Now, today we got a sweet treat on deck for you all. If you don't notice behind me, we do indeed have a huge snowstorm brewing up here in New England, and therefore I thought, how about making some paleo chocolate chunk cookies? That'll be perfect for this weather, so let's get going. Alrighty, so onto the ingredients. We have first is a cup and a half of almond flour. Now, this almond flour is from Trader Joe's, and they've been finely grounded, and it has only almonds. Okay, so that's that. Next, we have 2 bars of 85% cocoa. This brand is the Lindt Excellence. I really like this because it doesn't contain the soy lecithin, or however you say it, and it's very low in sugar. Very high, of course, in the cocoa content, which has a lot of the beneficial antioxidants. All right, then we have a 1/4 cup of honey. So because sugar isn't paleo, therefore I am using the honey as the sweetener for this. Now, this might be a bit controversial. It is a 1/4 cup of butter. If you have an adverse reaction to butter, you can use coconut oil, but I just find the butter taste in baked goods to be so much superior than other oils. That's why I'm using it. I personally am fine with using butter, but again, if you're someone who doesn't do well with butter, then find an alternative, coconut oil being one of them. And this brand is the, well, partially cut off, but Kerrygold. It's from grass-fed cows that are raised in Ireland. All right, then we have 1 egg. And lastly, we have on the left is gonna be vanilla extract. We need 1/2 teaspoon of that, followed by 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and then lastly, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So very few ingredients, but it'll still taste delicious. So let's get going. Okay, everyone, so the first thing we're gonna do is let's make our dry and wet ingredient mix. All right, so for the dry ingredients, all we're gonna do is put in our 1.5 cup of almond flour into a huge mixing bowl, like what we have here, plus a 1/2 teaspoon of the baking soda. That goes in, along with a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now the salt really brings out the sweetness within the cookies, and that's why so many baked goods call for a little bit of salt. All right, so we'll just mix all that together roughly. All right, and that's good. Right, that for now. Next is we're going to mix our wet ingredients. Now I have scrambled, actually cracked the egg, and also just beaten the egg as is right here. And I have already melted the butter from earlier, so we're going to add the butter to our eggs, the 1/2 cup of butter to our 1 egg. Now the Kerrygold, one distinction about actually any type of grass-fed butter is that its color is going to be a lot brighter than your traditional butter, and that's what you're looking for. It shows a sign of quality. All right, and then we also have our 1/4 cup of honey that also goes in. And a little trick to get the honey out a little quicker is to lubricate it with a little bit of oil beforehand, so that the sides of whatever your measuring utensil is, in which case I have here is the measuring cup, it can come out easier. And this one I did earlier, but it's not bad coming out. All right, so that's good. And next we have our vanilla extract, and we need a 1/2 of a teaspoon of that as well. So Just gonna add our vanilla extract into our egg, butter, and honey mixture and just stir everything around. It smells fabulous right now already. And now, so our wet mixture looks good. As a standard baking procedure, we're going to add our wet mixture to our dry mixture. All right, so we're going to add our wet ingredients, all goes into our dry ingredients, and then we're just going to mix everything together. And when we come back, once I've done this, we're going to add our chocolate chunks, and then we're ready to bake. All right, so stay tuned. All right, everyone, so we are back, and I have taken the liberty to chop up our 2 bars of the 85% chocolate, and those will be used as the chocolate chunks. And here is our batter. Everything has been mixed with the dry and the wet ingredients. And now what we're going to do is just add our chocolate into our dry ingredients. About that much is good. And then you want to do is fold as opposed to stir. So that way it's a more even distribution of the chocolate. So just slowly fold it over one layer over the next until an even distribution has been formed. And once we're at that place, we're going to cover this and then set it in the refrigerator for half an hour before we bake it. You can set it into there for longer, but at least 30 minutes so that everything can be set, and then we'll bake it at 375 degrees. All right, so we'll be right back. Okay, everyone, so now that our dough has been set in the refrigerator for actually been almost an hour, covered, it looks like this, and it looks great. I have also lined a baking sheet with some parchment paper and just lightly greased it with some more of that beautiful Kerrygold grass-fed butter. Now that everything's ready to go, we can form our cookie dough balls. And I have here is just a ice cream scooper, and what we're going to do is just take some of our cookie dough and place it onto our cookie sheet. Now you can press down slightly just so that it can bake more evenly. And I'm going to go ahead and finish placing all the dough balls onto our cookie sheet. And when we come back, we're going to bake it in the oven at 375 degrees. All right, so come right back. Okay, so here are 6 beautiful looking Paleo chocolate chunk cookies. They are raw currently, but they're going to the oven at the 375 degree mark. I have actually preheated the oven about 20 minutes ago, so it's ready to go. And then we're going to bake those in the oven for 9 to 10 minutes or until the edges start to brown. And you also notice that there are approximately 1.5 inch gaps in the middle. That's because the cookies will expand once they start to heat up. All right, so in about 9 to 10 minutes, they'll come out perfect, and then we'll see how it looks. So stay tuned. All right, folks, so here are our completely baked Paleo chocolate chunk cookies. Do they just look absolutely fabulous? I mean, it smells absolutely wonderful, and they look just like normal cookies. And also the chocolate chunks, as opposed to the chocolate chips, really make a difference in this. The rustic touch of the chocolate chunks really shine through in each cookie. Now we're going to let these sit for at least 15 minutes because they are pretty soft right now. They just came out of the oven. So once they have the opportunity to rest, they will harden up, and then next we'll have a taste. All right, so stick around. All right, everybody, so here is the most exciting part of the day, and of course, I'm speaking of our tasting. So here we go, let's do it. Boy, the cookie looks absolutely wonderful, and I cannot wait. Oh, wow. You can taste the rich dark chocolate in this right away. I mean, the butter just binds everything so well. That's why I said how butter is definitely preferred over any other oils. If you're okay with that, definitely use it. I know it's not technically paleo, but it works so well in this recipe and so many other baked goods as well. The almond flour pairs well great, and I cannot tell the difference between a regular cookie and this paleo cookie. I mean, they taste identical. And I actually prefer this because it's paleo and it's a bit healthier. So give it a try. This recipe is not complicated. Just 8 basic ingredients. All you have to do is do the wet ingredients and also dry ingredients, put them together and bake it, and that's it. All right. So that's it for today. These cookies are great for a day like this. We had about a foot of snow out there, so before I get out there and shovel, these are definitely a power-up snack for me. Now, the blog does have the recipe to this, and the link of it is below. You can also follow me on Twitter. Be sure to give it a like and also subscribe to my channel. That'll be very much appreciated, just like always. Until next time, keep it simple and live paleo. And we'll catch you next time. All right. Thank you. Take care.